Boom, and rolling out of the shot. Set myself up. Bing, bada, boom. I just realized, oh, my lights, yes, all my lights are on. Welcome everyone, Mate Talk time. It is awesome to be before you all. Today will be a short mate, let's see, or a short mate talk. That's the mission, because so many things are happening. I'll tell you a bit more. So first, announcements, and that is that next Sunday, in 2 weeks essentially, or a week and a half, we're off to Europe. I'll tell you more about that. There's a big announcement, part of that, and also today I will be spinning the wheel. So it'll be fun for all the members out there. A chance to win something special. Now last week I spoke about, I spoke about slow food, and that was, I sort of started the scene with the slow food concept, and then sort of migrated across to how does this translate to perfumery, meaning that I'm really looking for, me personally as the niche fragrance collector, really looking for things that are a little bit on the unique side. I do love, so just to give you an idea, I do love big brands, Creed, Amouage, big brands that are, it's not necessarily a niche house because they're owned by these big multinationals and big corporations. They still make beautiful, beautiful fragrances. Having said that though, I still love looking for and hunting these small owner-operated perfume houses, or even perfumers who really are seeking to create artistically and not necessarily making, these massive runs, like a Meo Fushuni, who's very intimate in the way that he creates. So last week, if you missed that conversation, there are 6 perfumers that I absolutely love, and the reasons why. I'm going to give you 4 more today, so that makes 10. So that's a list right there. That's a top 10 over 2 videos. So I don't know if that counts. Probably doesn't. So today, 4 extra fragrance or perfumers that I'd love to talk about. Now, I mentioned last week this wonderful lady here who is Amélie, and I had a chance to meet with her, but also with her partner, her business partner, ANNE-SOPHIE BEHAGHEL. And we had last year we did the France fragrance tour. We had a chance to be in Javoy, and both of these women were there, and both of them were sharing how they create and some of the fragrances that they've created, and what was their inspiration, and how did they sort of find things essentially, or how did they create. It was also for our people. ANNE-SOPHIE, there is one of the lady that was on the tour with us, made, as she painted this picture, made this woman cry. It was so intimate. Okay, so here's the thing, that I love that, yes, perfumery is a commercial enterprise, because at the end of the day, the fragrance has to sell so that you can then generate value, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it is something that it's an artistic creation, and so therefore it's seeking for an emotion in some way, so it's seeking to create an emotion in you, the wearer. So yes, as ANNE-SOPHIE was talking about a particular fragrance, and it is by the house of Liquid Imaginaire. I've got one that I want to talk to her. It's not this one here, but I do like the brand, and ANNE-SOPHIE has created quite a number of fragrances for that particular house. But before I go there, so I am talking about ANNE-SOPHIE, and this one here she was talking about when we were in Javoy. I bought this for Sandra, and Sandra loves this fragrance. So let's see if I do my best in pronouncing. Couleur primaire, which is primary color. One thing that we love as Aussies, and this is my wife, when I say we, I mean Sandra, and that is the smell of laundry detergents that exist in Europe. It is a beautiful smell, let me just say that. We come back, and this is a true story, from Europe, and Sandra has, so I'm buying treats and cakes and biscuits and whatnot that you can't find here in Australia, that you can only find in Europe. Sandra comes back with little tablets of the laundry powder because she loves the smell of this laundry powder, and she loves the smell of it on her clothes and all the rest of it. Oh, coughing again. Give me a second. So Couleur Primaire is all about replicating that scent. So when Anne-Sophie was saying, oh, one crazy project that we did, and the brand is called Les Heures Primordiales, and they are a French house. They do some incredible fragrances. Anne-Sophie also has done a lot of fragrances for these guys. She was saying that, you know, between her and the owner, they wanted to come up with something different and unique, and they replicated that scent. And you think, nah, I mean, because I remember when she sang, I'm like, that's a crazy concept. Anyway, Sandra's like, I need this fragrance. So she went off, put it on. She went into the store of Javoy, put it on. And she's like, you have to buy this for me. So this is her fragrance. Anne-Sophie did sign it. Unfortunately, there wasn't a good pen and it got washed off. But if you like that scent, I mean, Europeans, you guys are getting that scent, but here in Australia, that scent is unique. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. The one that I will put forward to you is Fantomas by Liquid et Marginaire. And I fell in love with this years ago. I love tea-scented fragrances. I love anything that has the fragrant nature of a black tea. There's a number of beautiful fragrances. Oolong Chai is one of them. Also, Almond Jane has Chi Intensivo, gorgeous fragrance there. Those two, the difference with those two is that they do lean into the very citrusy elements, whereas here it's very much more in the black tea and the greenness of it. So it stays more with fragrant black tea rather than sort of confusing it too much with these other elements. Not confusing, so because I love those others and I love wearing them. But there's other things happening in those fragrances where here it remains very, and it's not a linear fragrance by all means. It does have where it dries down to a beautiful woody base, but still retaining some of that black tea fragrant nature of it. Opens up with a yuzu, and I remember at the time, because I bought this years ago, and I remember at the time that I didn't know what yuzu was other than some kind of citrus from Japan. But what it does, that yuzu doesn't give it that sparkling classic citrus that you get from a lemon or something from Italy, essentially. It also has a rice note, so you are getting a slight nuttiness in that opening, which does come back, but then in the dry down, you are going to these sort of more warmer, woodier notes. Let me tell you here. I've had it now on skin probably about an hour and a half. It's one, when I wear it, Sandra is instantly sort of reaching for it. I was doing it before Sandra was doing some work here, and she's like, well, what are you wearing? Because that's gorgeous. So whenever I do wear it, Fantomas does have sort of an allure for Sandra. I bought this with my nephew. My nephew's 28, 29 years old, and he already went through the bottle. His wife loves it on him also. So here's a fragrance that is it will be beautiful on a woman, but on a man, it does smell pretty impressive, or just beautiful if you like that black tea fragrant note. And Anne-Sophie has created this fragrance, and amongst others. So have a look at her pedigree, or her, I said it last week, her collection, it's not collection, her BOP, this. And you'll see that she's really authored a lot of beautiful, beautiful fragrances. Now, at the time that, Anne-Sophie is one of the co-owners of Flair Paris. Her and Amélie are initially the founders. They've been slowly amassing this powerhouse of female perfumers. I love it. No boys allowed. Well, actually, I don't know that. Because I look at all the photos and it's girl power all the way. And these perfumers, or these women, have made some really impressive fragrances. Another one that I want to put on your radar, also part of Flair Paris, is this lady here by the name of, here we go, you ready? Margaux, I know that part. Margaux Le PAIH-GUERIN. Le PAIH-GUERIN, I think. Margaux. Now, I had the privilege of actually meeting Margaux probably 2 years ago. So we were now on the France Fragrance Tour 2023. We're in the south of France, we were in Grasse. And the founder of SORA, Quentin, he was coming to meet with us and our people, the people on the tour. And he surprised us, essentially. And he invited Margaux to be a part of that. Now, at that stage, Margaux was brand new. This is back in, as I said, in 23. And she was brand new to Flair. and she had just created, no one had smelt it yet, this fragrance here called JAYNE. Now, if you haven't had a chance to smell JAYNE and you like gourmands, stop this video, go find JAYNE and spray this fragrance, because it is probably one of the greatest gourmand fragrances out there that celebrates the tak tak dang, tak te dang, tak te dang. There it is. Tak te tak dang, dang. This, which is a beautiful pastry. I mean, this is a gorgeous dessert. I mean, anytime I'm with that, with a nice vanilla ice cream on top of it, forget about it, that's gorgeous. What she did here, and from memory, she mentioned to Quentin, or pitched to him, that she wanted to replicate the smell of her grandmother, JAYNE, creating this tak te tang, tak te tang, tang. Now I'm like, I want to say it right. Tak te tak tang. I think that's it. Tak te tak tang.
Tarte tatin.
Luke, I know you're watching. Please tell me I did a good job with that. This is the most delicate French gourmand fragrance. And I have to say French because there isn't an exaggeration when it comes to vanillas or anything like that. The sublime nature of this fragrance is something exceptional. On that opening, you are getting like literally like someone has opened the oven, and this scent profile has come out and wafting through the house, and it's a mixture of the sugary caramel of the burnt sugar on top. It has the cake-like quality. There is that apple sweetness, but not crispy. It smells baked, and then that very light texture of the actual pastry itself. On first spray, it is love, love, love. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. I remember when we were in this, and here's the video, we were doing this session. I hate saying masterclass because it was very informal. Just, it's about really the chance to be with the founders and creators and share a moment and understand their fragrances and let them tell the stories behind it, etc. So we were in this session with Quentin and with Margaux, and they were sharing this, and we're smelling, and it's like, it was just divine. And then when it dries down, which is where I am now, there is a slight floral nature to the fragrance, but very, very delicate. Sorry, I felt like somebody was tapping me on my leg. The very delicate in nature, the vanilla is there, that sort of pastry element to the fragrance is still present. The apple has come off, and the caramel sort of burnt sugar element has also come off. It does go a little bit more, I guess, soft woody would be the right explanation, with floral tinges and that delicate vanilla touch. And anyway, it's just gorgeous. So JAYNE, big recommendation. Now at the time, Quentin, he didn't want to embarrass Margaux, but he did say, just watch what work this woman is going to be creating, this young lady, because he already marked it that Margaux is going to be one of those up and coming perfumers. I know that she has also created 7 for SORA DORA and also Red, and all 3 of these fragrances, JAYNE 7 Red, just gorgeous, absolutely stunning. She's heard, I'm looking forward to it. She's created a fragrance for Astrophil and Stella called Mont Santal. And that too is creating waves. I've been reading some comments on that one there is gorgeous, and I can't wait to experience it. It hasn't come out in Australia yet, but I will be in Europe next week. I'm looking forward to that. So that one there too, boom. Okay, let me move on. For those who may have missed this Discovery series, just to let you know, so if you have seen the Discovery series, one thing that's happened is that which is great, they sold out of the Discovery sets, which is good, I guess, because obviously it was a successful exercise. More coming through, so give them another 2 or 3 weeks. The Ormond Jane team will replenish their stores. You can use that code, this one here, and get a 10% off, and then you can loop back onto this particular Discovery series and sort of uncover a bit more. Now, on the second episode that I created for this Discovery series, I told a storyline. I'm going to share it with you again now, because up until this moment, I had never heard of this particular perfumer, and it was only through the storyline that Linda, that she was sharing with me, sort of when she told me this, and then when I started doing research, I'm like, whoa, I love this guy. So the story is, and similar to, think of that moment, for those who've seen the movie Rocket Man, where a very young Elton John trying to break into the music industry is given an envelope, and on the envelope in the movie, the camera sort of slows down to accentuate the name of this particular lyricist, I think that's how you say it, which was Bernie Taupin, who turns out to be this dynamic duo between these two men, between Elton and Bernie. And there was a similar scenario here, and that was that Linda tells the story that she was in her store in Ormond Jane in London, and in comes this gentleman who says, do you happen to have any perfume alcohol? Because I need to create a composition. I don't have perfume alcohol. In London, you need a license for that. And she said, yes, of course. Turns out the gentleman is a perfumer by the name of GEZA SCHOEN. And this is the next person I want to put on your radar. So GEZA, apart from creating, well, so finish that story. So they became not only really good friends, but GEZA was instrumental in creating the first creations of perfumes that Linda authored essentially for her business. Up until that moment, Linda was just doing candles, and then this partnership or this chance meet then created the spark, which would then created all the other things together. Now, GEZA has really created some masterpieces. So if you look at the Ormond Janes, there's a number there that I adore, and GEZA has been behind it. The ones that really, when I found out, I was super excited, because one of my first perfumes, 2 perfumes that I bought years and years ago, way before the channel, was Clive Christian Ex Masculine and the Clive Christian 1872 Masculine. Now, GEZA is the author of both of those. I want to put this one to you. For those who are not familiar with Ex Masculine, again, another one, pause this video, go out, spray it, because it is one of the most divine masculine fragrances out there. I always talk about that if I were to take fragrances on a deserted island, what would I choose? I'm telling you now, Ex Masculine will always be part of that. And sometimes I think to myself, maybe I'm going to change my mind on that, until I spray it. I got it here. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart, there's no way. Don't worry, you're on the boat with me. We're going to this island together. This is a fragrance that, it does work for me. It does work better in cooler weather, but it is an all year round fragrance. In summer, it is quite glorious, the spicy, woody nature of it. However, for me, in winter, it is divine. And the other part to it too, and I did it on purpose, I love, whenever I'm traveling, I do like either buying a fragrance from the location I'm going to, or take a fragrance with me. I was traveling through Japan with my son. Asia is not known for a strong perfume culture. It's something that they're developing, but historically that's not where they came from. And then there's Japan, where they don't really like to have very loud fragrances overall. So I took this as my fragrance of choice because we were going to be in Osaka. At that time, Osaka was very cold, and so this here was the perfect fragrance. And every time I smell Ex Masculine, because we were there for about a week, it has locked it in my brain. I can see the bamboo forest that we were in. I can see the cold nights. I can feel the cool evenings as we were coming back. Great fragrance. So when it comes to a cooler weather, when it comes to something that is equal part cozy, but at the same time vibrant and electric. I was going to say energetic, but energetic, it's actually electric. It has a spicy zing to it. This is gorgeous. It has things like cinnamon, and it does have pimiento. I know it has like oak and vetiver, and it dries down to this beautiful woody place, but never loses its the spicy elements, or that zing that you find in the beginning. huge recommendation. So GEZA SCHOEN, another great perfume. Have a look at the other work he's done, in particular all things Ormond Jane, and you'll be really impressed with the man. But I'm going to pause for a second and back. Now, the last perfume that I want to put to you on your radar is a gentleman by the name of Julian BADEL. He is an Argentinian. The brand is Fuella. Now, for some reason, the brand gets a bit of heat. Don't know why. It is a bit harder to find. I think that's one of the sort of comments that I've read, is that they are, I guess, pretentious. You know, they're trying to be a little bit sort of like, you got to hunt them down. Maybe that's true. Maybe there is an element of that. But anyway, if you do get a chance to test out the brand, I really, really, really recommend them. So I was fortunate to discover the brand here in Australia. Libertine Perfumery had them as one of their brands or their portfolios. They no longer have it, but it was sufficient for me to become hooked on what they do. The deal was sealed when I went to Milan, and I went into their boutique that's in there in the Galleria. That boutique, if you ever get a chance to travel to Milan, please walk in. It is so well crafted as a retail space. From the lighting to the wood paneling to the perfumes to the way that the staff interact with you, they've just knocked it out of the park. It's a really well crafted retail experience. Then there's the fragrance, because at the end of the day, sure, you may have all these pieces, but if the fragrance don't resonate, then we're done. So many. And I was going to take a photo, maybe I still will, but maybe I won't, because the madness connected to that. So many of their fragrances. And I do get a little bit feverish because I do like collecting, but I also like their fragrances. I also enjoy their scents. All of us have our favorites. So Sandra, whenever she's wearing, and I've spoken about this before, La Captiva, but that's not her favorite. She's got a few others. But when she wears La Captiva, that thing is incredible. That is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So if you're a woman, mind you, a man can also wear it. But on Sandra, that's become Sandra's fragrance, and it's just divine. When I smell that in the air. Kevin has fallen in love with Arabica, which is the coffee-based one, and every time he comes in, he actually literally has taken it off the scent bar and is on his desk. So that's like, it's mine. No one else is allowed to touch it. So that's his favorite. For me, I have a number of favorites. So there's a number of different ones that I love using. The one that I'm wearing right now, and every time I'm waving my arms around, even to the point when Hannah came over to do the focus on the camera and all the rest of it, she's like, I can smell something, and I think it's a Fuella. So I did show her this because I've got like perfume everywhere, and it is, I can never pronounce it perfectly, but chocolat. I think it is chocolato. Anyway, this one here, and it's written in the way that the South American Indians actually wrote it, or the way that the Mexicans sort of put it down. It is a chocolate-based fragrance, but I almost want to challenge that, because yes, there is a cacao, but it's not a chocolate in the classic chocolate sense. I mean, I've got some fragrances that celebrate that cacao and that chocolate sort of expression. And this here is way too complex to just say this is a chocolate expression. There are elements of vanilla, and primarily in the dry down. There are elements of a very boozy rum, but not spicy. Sometimes you get rum that has a bit of a dried fruit and spiciness to it. It's a bit more denser. Here, it's a bit lighter, and it has I was gonna say like a white wine, or but it has more of a lightness to it. Then there is, what was the other ingredient that's in here? Oh, the chocolate. Then there's the actual chocolate. It's a gorgeous fragrance. So many fragrances within the Fuella collection that you really can you can geek out and just have them all. I ended up, when I first started buying from Fuella, I was buying the big bottles. It's just, because you value for money, baby. But in the end, you're actually better off, because you're not going to use all that perfume. That's what my dad says to me. You're never going to use all this perfume. So in the end, the 50 ml is more than enough. The 50 ml is perfect because now, and they've even got like a 30 ml, I think. That too is amazing because now you can really expand your collection. I double down on all 50 mils. I've got a lot of the 50 mils and absolutely love them. Julian BADEL supposedly is the perfumer for all of them. So I'm hoping that in years to come, their book doesn't come out. You know, the Argentinian ghost perfumer. And we find out that in fact that this, you know, other people have actually, signed off on these perfumes. According to the lore and the understanding is that Julian is actually the creator of all these fragrances. The other thing I love is that, again, part of the lore is that Julian is a self-taught perfumer. He is an artist, so he actually, in the boutiques you see these guitars, those guitars are actually made by him. Again, that's all part of the, true or not true, I don't know. I've never met him yet, so I don't know. Having said that though, I have tried to meet Julian. He's very elusive, and I know he exists because I've seen masterclass with him present and him sharing. I have seen that he's not very strong on social media. If anybody knows him, tell him that Marcelo would like to catch up. And Marcelo promises to be just, all I want to do is understand his art, his creativity, and this is a brand that I really enjoy. The fact also that it's an Argentinian brand, I love the celebration of that. But then the actual fragrances stand on their own feet and they're all exceptional. If you haven't experienced it yet, Chocolato, I think that's how you say it, is the one I would definitely put on your radar. It's perfect for winter or summer or any time of the year. And I am done. Boom. Okay. So there are 10 perfumers that I really love. These are all unique. And now just to give you a heads up, I love Roger Dove, I love Christian Provenzano, I love Cecile and Julien. So there's all these incredible perfumers and I have all their fragrances. What I wanted to do is put on your radar 10 individuals that you don't necessarily get a lot of airplay, that you may, but when you start to unbox and uncover, you're like, whoa, these guys are very talented. They've got a number of beautiful fragrances that if you've experienced them, you'll love. So there it is. As I mentioned, in 2 weeks' time, next Sunday, we're already on our way. For those who don't know, there is the KM Fragrance Tour business that myself and Kevin have created. This is the now, believe it or not, this is our 4th tour. It's mental when you think about it. Because when you stop and think, let's create a fragrance touring company. Let's invite people from around the world. Let's really, because these are luxe experiences, meaning that we're staying in 5-star hotels, we're eating at very fine dining restaurants. So, the experiences that we put on are, they are at a level that you can't just walk into. So there's a saying that when we first started the business, I would say to Kevin, we have to create a tour that with us, they're doing all these things, and without us, that they're not able to. So yes, you can fly and go to Javoy and walk into store, and you may bump into Francois, but with us means that you have all those pieces, but now you have dinner or lunch with Francois, you have these perfumers who come, create experiences that you really just can't walk into. These are constructed and curated experiences. Anyway, long story. This is the 9-day tour that's actually about to roll out. We've got some massive experiences. I think I mentioned that one of them is the chance to go to meet Mayo Frusciuni in Sarzana. Another one, this is now, maybe I had a hand in this one. We're going to have a special experience in the boutique in Florence for Panerai. They've got some museum pieces that are locked away, and we're going to be a part of that. Woohoo! Sorry, I sound like a cuckoo. Yes, we're doing some pretty cool things there. The one that I wanted to point out to you, because I would like to see if we can film with this good man, is on the first day, we're actually meeting with Luca Maffei, and we're going to do a small tour through AFM. So I'm really excited to show this to our guests and experience something quite unique. Because I know when I did it, this part of that video, and it's this one here, it was such a joyous experience for a perfume nerd to experience this. I'm looking forward to sharing this with others. Now, next week we will be announcing a grand thing that we're about to roll out, and we're inviting people to put their emails on this particular. I'll give you more details, but basically what we're doing is we're inviting you guys, put your email down, and we'll send you a link. That link will then give you the further info as to something that we super clandestine, very vague, but yeah, just to give you a heads up, next week I'll be sharing more. We're doing something pretty exciting there. Last thing, get ready. And here we go. So these are for the members of the channel. How do you become a member? It's $4 Aussie a month. These are the prices across the world. The advantage is that every month I will spin twice, and if it lands on your name, then I will curate a number of samples and send them across to you. Tell me what you love, and you'll get that. Secondly, what supports the channel, and we all say thank you here in the office. And the last part is that you do have access to the Discord, the NFC Discord channel, so you can, or service, sorry, and you can go across into that. There's awesome conversations. There are a lot of, I was going to say, perfume enthusiasts, nerds, who just love everything to do with niche perfumery. It's awesome. I look at, I look at the conversations, and the camaraderie in there is gorgeous. But we begin. So all that, you get all that for $4. Forget about it. It's a bargain. So good luck. Whoever's going to win, boom. My man, Ricardo. We did it, baby. So actually, you let me know. I'm going to be in Europe, and I'll send it across to you. Maybe something really cool. You tell me. You tell me. All right, so Ricardo, congratulations to you, my friend. Ricardo is one of the gangsters of the channel. He was one of the very first people that actually became a member. Here we go, next one. Boom, boom. Gerard, my man. Gerard is one of the people joining me on the tour. Can I spin again, Gerard? Because I promise we've got so many great things lined up for you. I promise you won't be disappointed. So Gerard, we'll do something, but I'm going to spin one more time, and whoever gets, this is now, we're going to do something special. Trust me, Gerard. I got you covered, baby. Mercedes, also coming on the tour. I promise you too will get something special. I love that all these people coming on the tour. This is pretty cool, actually. All right, here we go. Last one. Freddie, bada bing. Freddie, congrats to you. Actually, congrats to Gerard and Mercedes. I promise that we've got something special lined up for you guys. Ricardo, let me know what you love. I'll get something organized. And Freddie, congrats to you, and we'll get something out to you too. Boom, there it is. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you guys all on the next Mate Talk.